All right, I'm back again to connect people, properties, and possibilities. It's that time of the month again, and I bet you're looking forward to it. It is nugget time. Not chicken nuggets, real estate nuggets. These are useful nuggets you can take out to the real estate market and use it when you're buying a home or selling a home. That way, you're one step above others, and you're in a position of strength. That's where I want to put you right now. And for today's nugget, I'm going to share with you the appraisal value compared to the market value. What are the differences? Because I've seen a lot of confusion. People give weight to one over the other more than they should. So I'm going to clear the air for that. That way you can walk away from this feeling more powerful and in a position of strength. So let's get started. So let me start with what's an appraisal value. Appraisal value is really a gathering of information, data, past sales within a certain radius of the subject property, and then you can get a professional judgment of that data. And pretty much they're comparing, but they're breaking it down to the ridiculous, to the point where real human beings don't even break it down that way, right? Because real human beings, the human condition with buying a home, they factor in everything, their emotions, their feelings, and that's something the appraisal can't possibly put a number to. I mean, really, there's all five senses: a sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. That's why sometimes you go to open houses, you get cookies, so you can walk away from the home feeling it is such a sweet home, or they put some nice smells to it, so it's such a nice smelling home, or even music. So this home sounds really nice. People respond to different senses. So there's a human condition in it that appraisal value definitely can't factor in. And keep in mind, appraisals are really done for many different reasons. So depending on that, they're more flexible in the numbers. So sometimes it's for home loans or refinance, or just when you're trying to find out what it's worth. So oftentimes, if it's, for example, here's a really good example. If you're getting an appraisal just to find out how much it is worth and you have an unpermitted bedroom, that appraiser is going to factor it in as if that is a legitimate bedroom and give it value. Versus if you're getting a bank appraisal, they aren't going to factor that in, because the lender won't factor in anything that isn't permitted. But let me ask you this. If you have a room, can't you do something with it? And when you can do something with it, it has value, right? So technically there is value for it, but then the lender won't give it value. So that's why you have to factor in the market value. Market value is what buyers are actually willing to pay for a property. And what buyers are willing to pay, they factor in all those human conditions that I mentioned to you. Feelings, smell, touch, how they feel. It could affect how they respond to a home. That's why you see some homes stage. Certain homes with the right paint color sells more and faster than a home with a bland, ugly paint color. Otherwise, the structure is all the same, but then the paint makes a big difference. So one way to think of it is this, to make it easier for you. An appraisal value is a book value. Think of it this way. Have you gone to school, right? You've gone to school, and have you learned something about a book? But then when you go out to the real world and you realize what you learned by the book and how it is in the real world, is it the same? No, right? It's the same exact thing here for appraisal value and the market value. So that's how you have to understand it. And that's really what you need to consider, especially when someone's telling you the appraisal is this amount, but then what you need to factor in is the market value. And one way you can look at it is this. I mean, are the homes all of a sudden that are active on the market, similar homes to the past ones, are definitely a lot more expensive? Doesn't have to be a lot more expensive, but 10, 20,000. And it's consistent all around, right? All the homes available are consistently higher than the past homes that were for sale, and it's still going off the market, right? That's a telltale sign that the market value is higher than what that appraisal value is going to be. And that's actually normal, and it's okay. And I say that because otherwise, home values will never go up. If everyone's just going by the appraisal value, home values will stay the same, if not go down, because appraisals are always using past sales, something from the past, to try to get an idea of what the future is right now, right? And that doesn't ever work, because we're always constantly changing and changing and changing. So I'll leave you with this. As long as you see that the values are going to continue to go up and the market's moving in that direction of upward trend, it's okay to pay a little bit over appraisal price. Appraisal price is just a little guideline. As long as it's not ridiculously far off, $100,000 to $200,000, you're okay. $10,000, $20,000, it's actually fairly common right now. Actually been fairly common for a while. So as long as you do see the market continuing to go up. Now, I hope that was a very useful nugget for you. That way when you do get your offer accepted, or if you're selling your home and some buyer is giving too much weight to that appraisal, saying, hey, this appraiser said X amount, you can of course be diplomatic. Well, that would be my job if I'm working for you. I will go ahead and talk to them, explain to them what the appraisal really is, and that has nothing to do with what the market value is. Does that make sense? Now, a caveat to that, there definitely is a problem if there is a loan involved, because a lender, they're only going to loan a certain percentage of that appraised value, because that appraisal is for the lender for their books, how much that property is worth. So that's also why it comes to down payment. Sellers, usually they give more weight to an offer with a higher down payment, because it's very common. Appraisals may come out low. So that's why they always consider the offer. If you have, put it this way, if you have two offers that are same price, offer A is $1 million, offer B is also $1 million, but offer A has 50% down payment versus offer B only has 30% down payment, 9 out of 10 times, offer A is going to be accepted because of the higher down payment. And really it's because of that appraisal issue that may come up. It's not because the buyer won't be willing to buy, it's because they may have loan issues. Since the lender is only going to loan a certain amount of the appraisal value. Hope that also gives you a little insight into how everything works. Now let me give you some thoughts from my experience. I've actually seen appraisers ruin a deal, because appraisers, they're still human beings. I mean, I could take a piece of paper or information here and another piece of information, and then I could give it different judgments depending on how I analyze and look at things, because that's exactly how appraisers are. You can have two appraisers and come out with pretty much two different values. And that's why oftentimes I give properties like a $10,000 range when I tell my clients how much it should go for. And that's exactly why, because appraisers are all a little bit different. But I have a perfect example. I had a property under contract in Pomona. It's a small condo for investment. It was in contract for $210,000. And the appraiser came back and said it was only worth $190,000. But I did my research and I gauged the market. I was like, no way, this is actually correct. Of course, my buyer, not her fault at all, because the appraiser gave her that value. She went ahead and backed out the deal, of course. No one wants to be the chump and end up paying more than what a property is worth. So it's completely understandable. But I also explain the market value and the trends. I see other properties, you do some adjustments, it does justify the price we're under contract for. So of course we have to back out, but come a month later, I do see that it's sold for above, well, I think it was, I forgot the exact numbers, not on the top of my head, but it was actually at $210,000. What that means is this: other buyers are willing to pay that price. So that is the market value, because when you buy a property or you sell a property, it will be at market value. The appraisal is almost irrelevant, because it's what buyers are willing to pay that sets the price that you're gonna get the property for. I hope that makes sense for you also. I know I gave you a lot over here, and this is something very, very important, because I've seen it make or break deals, and because it makes or breaks deals, it affects your prosperity. And so picture that. I mean, you're that buyer that gave too much weight to the appraisal report when really the market is justifying that price, and you decide to back out of the deal because of that appraisal report, and then the market continues to go up and up and up. You're really getting a short end of the stick if you give too much weight to an appraisal report. Of course, there's some weight to it, but what I'm saying is you also have to balance out the market value. So with one without the other is really irrelevant. I mean, if you have an appraisal report, but you're not factoring in the market value, you're not really getting the full picture. And that's what I want to impart in you. That's a nugget I want you to walk away with. And I hope that's very useful for you when you're out there in the real estate market. Now, that concludes my little nugget here. But if you have any questions about the market, or if you're looking to buy or sell, feel free to reach out to me. I would love to give you a market analysis for your home, or talk to you about finding the right not the right buyer, the right home for you and your family. So feel free to give me a call, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.